So as we start and we think about this, when we live with MS, it means we experience many different symptoms. Like if you look on that slide there, you can see we experience numbness or tingling or dizziness, or some of us have pain, bladder problems, fatigue, muscle spasms, weakness. I mean, it's everything, right?
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the MS Workouts YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me. I'm here today to introduce this week's video and also talk about a special offer that we are extending to you. The video you're about to watch is a presentation by one of our steadypace instructors, Jacqueline. Jacqueline joined MS Workouts back in 2018. Yeah, that's 7 years ago. And since then has gained some incredible results. After achieving those results, Jacqueline became inspired to help others, and that's when she joined the MS Workouts team. She now hosts a monthly series called Navigating Life with MS, where she shares tips and tricks about parenting, how to deal with a bad day, how to prepare for infusions, and much more. This video that you're about to watch is from one of those presentations that we have held live with our members. All right, now before I pass it off to Jacqueline, I just want to announce that we've extended our 20% discount code for an additional week. With the new school year coming, we want to make sure that the parents in the MS Workouts community get access to the exclusive steadypace club at a lower cost. We know that as parents or grandparents, time is at a premium. So we developed our unique strength technique. It's called steadypace, so that it does not demand a lot of time. All you need to do to see results is come in 2 to 3 hours a week, and that's all we're asking from you. You will also get access to a lot of different live events, like strength training workouts with me, a live Q&A with Jacqueline, and a community chat to wrap up the week on Friday. With the addition of the new aerobics class on Thursdays, we now have a live event every single day of the week for you guys. It's like having a personal trainer and support community at your home. Go to www.msworkouts.com and use coupon code FAMILY so you can get 20% off the 3-month membership plan at the steadypace club. We would love to help make parenting a bit easier.
This topic is now what I'll be leading every month now is entitled Navigating Life with MS. Now, I know some of us don't have MS, some of us may have other chronic diseases or whatever. Rest assured, I feel like it's kind of like MS in brackets, to be honest, because you can almost insert whatever you're dealing with. And you honestly, even if you don't have MS, just navigating life. It's a really all-encompassing topic. And today is our first introduction, not really introduction, but just our inaugural, I guess that's the better word for it, topic and what we're going to chat about today. But this is a really exciting topic for myself. As many of you know, I do live with MS. So I'll jump into that in a second or so. Can you jump over to the next slide, please? Thank you so much. So my first thing I wanted to do, just one second here, I'm dealing with screen problems here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to actually, hopefully you have a piece of paper there, or maybe just just take a second here. I have a question for you too, actually. And the first is this: can you think of an activity of daily living that you would like to hear how other people manage it? So for example, it could be grocery shopping, it could be, organizing your list, your calendar. Can you think of something that in your personal life that is sort of challenging to you or just puzzling, like, I don't know how to manage it, and you want some feedback? So I will go research after my presentation. I'm going to go back to that question and we'll just get a bit of a discussion, because we're here, I don't actually attest to actually knowing and having all the answers, and we're here to support each other and to learn from each other. The second question there is on the screen is, what is one of the most helpful tips you have learned while living with a chronic disease? So that if you are able to think of either one of those and just jot them down, so later on we can have a bit of discussion and learn from it. So what's an activity of daily living that you'd like to hear about, how other people manage it? And then secondly, what are some of the most helpful tips you have learned while living with a chronic disease? So I'll give you a few seconds there to jot that down, and then we're going to jump into the next slide.
Add that in the chat box as well for them to have.
That works as well. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Felipe. So I'll give you a few seconds there to get that going while I get my notes looked up here. Perfect. All right, so this is the new series here at MS Workouts, the Navigating Life with MS, led by myself. And the question here on the screen is why? Why this series? Why now? Well, as many of you may know, I have a very personal journey living with multiple sclerosis. I have lived with multiple sclerosis since I 15 years now, getting close to 15 now. At the end of the year, calendar year will be 15 years. And I deal with it every single day. In addition, I have been a steady pacer since 2008 or 18 rather. So I have truly, I know the benefits of the steady pace technique, and I have met thousands, like not thousands, hundreds of MS workout members. And I've learned so many different things from you about your different challenges that you are dealing with. I personally live with my husband here in Ontario, Canada, and I have 3 children, and they range in age. I say range, usually I would have said they're, school age, but we have a 9-monther, and that goes all the way up to 11 and a half now close. So it's kind of a wide range. So, I mean, I am a parent, but you may be a grandparent. You may be dealing with, how do you manage life as a grandparent or as a grandma or whatever, as a dealing with children or grandchildren who are younger or older or whatnot. So there's a lot of tips and such I have learned from you as members, but also from my experience that I have daily living with a chronic disease that I'm interested in delving into in this series. So we're not just going to jump and stick with like parenting. We're going to go into other different things as well, such as, like the, sorry, my notes are a little bit long here, such as just jumping into different topics about how to prepare for an infusion, how to deal with a bad day. So it really is a wide range. I've been able to sit down with many steady pacers. I've conducted over 20 interviews with on the MS Pep Talk series. So as a steady pacer, you can jump into the back end and you can see that there's many interviews. I have sat down with many members, and I always say when I sat down, it's such a pleasure because there's always something that I myself, I've never said I've arrived. I can learn from you as steady pacers, as people who have many more years of experience living with chronic diseases. And as Felipe mentioned from the top, I am a steady pace trainer. I've led the live workout classes, led hundreds of them. Yes, I've really enjoyed meeting and sharing that with you as well. So this presentation is our inaugural one, and I will host one every single month and go from there. So the next slide is here in front of you is this, it's an MS slide, but it's kind of entails everything you're dealing with MS. So as we start and we think about this, when we live with MS, it means we experience many different symptoms. Like if you look around that slide there, you can see we experience numbness or tingling or dizziness, or some of us have pain, bladder problems, fatigue, muscle spasms, weakness. I mean, it's everything, right? And it's not every day that we deal with the same thing. It can change throughout the day. It can change throughout the month. It can change from week to week. Like it can be very variable. So at times we can understand and we can pinpoint why there is that variance. It could be because of nutrition. It could be because of sleep. It could be because of stress. It could be due to activity. And so it does really vary. And so the question these symptoms will sometimes persist from day to day. And you kind of like, how do I navigate all of that? How do I deal with that? So what strategies can we use to give our best effort while dealing with this? And that's what this series is really going to focus on, so we can help each other and support each other. So that's hopefully was helpful to you as we jump into this. So yes, the next slide, sorry, Felipe, I jumped ahead. So we're going to jump into the spoon theory. Now the spoon theory, I think many of you probably have heard of this. It's a fairly common theory. Some people don't really use it. I personally don't use it. I have my own way of talking about life with MS, but the spoon theory is really defined as such, that it explains that people who are living with a chronic disease, such as chronic pain or a disability, they have limited resources in their day. And that also means that they have limited energy to expend throughout the day. And that limitation is because of their disease. And so compared to someone who doesn't have a disease, they just have fewer, what they say, spoons. So in the theory, then the spoons represent the physical and mental load that is required to complete tasks. So in general, for example, they can say, you know what, I woke up this morning, I slept well last night, I've got like 7 spoons. Well, I want to take a shower. That might take me 1 spoon, but I also have to do groceries today. That's going to take me another 2 spoons. So it's kind of the idea, well, then I'm down to 4 spoons left the rest of my day. What else am I going to do? I want to do a workout. what's that going to mean? Oh, it's another spoon, right? So you kind of have to balance your energy and say, well, how much am I jumping into? How much energy do you have? How much mental space do I have? How much physical energy do I have? Oh, I have to have time to, take a nap. Well, if I take a nap, is that going to give me an extra spoon or two? So that's that spoon theory. And as we go through this series, you may find that I will often say, we ran out of spoons or whatnot. And that's that general idea of that spoon theory. So I'm curious if people actually, use that spoon theory and talk like spoon. I know I personally don't, but hey, I'm not you. And I'm just curious if that's something that you potentially follow as well. Can you flip over? Perfect. So in this presentation, I actually have 4 tips that I wanted to share with you just to help us walk through these thoughts and see where we're at. So the first tip is don't sweat the small stuff. So in general, it is very easy to get overwhelmed by the many things that need to get done. So just in your general day-to-day living, I have to do laundry, I have to do groceries, I have to make my dinner plans, I have to do housework, I want to do a workout. So there's all kinds of things that take our mental space and our physical energy. And it really can be very overwhelming at times. So I want you to think something through with me. So for example, the laundry's been done. Doesn't matter who's done it. Could have been somebody else. It could have been yourself. But your laundry's been done, and you usually would have, you're usually the person who folds it. But you ran out of energy or spoons, so to speak, to fold it and put it away. So thinking about that, are you okay with that? Is it okay that family members can then just collect the laundry off the rack, from the dryer, and put it away their clean laundry themselves? Or, for example, you had the energy to go around and pick up your house, but you've just plain ran out of spoons to vacuum. Can you be at peace in yourself and feel accomplished knowing that you did clean up things and your loved ones will step in and vacuum the house later? So thinking about that, it really is a mindset change. So when I say don't sweat the small stuff, it really does apply to a lot of things. So I wanted to give you a few tips, something to think about, and maybe you can find yourself in them. You can find ways to, ease some of those challenges that you may experience. So one tip is to ask help from a family member, a friend, or even hire someone to do the household chores. It's not a problem, right? Like it really isn't. So there's I know asking for help is another topic, a huge topic that we can jump into, but it is something that is very helpful, right? We have to do it. I think I've always said the first time you ask for help is the hardest. And then after that, it gets a little bit easier. Maybe someone else can attest to that. Another tip is to, for example, for groceries, order online. You don't have to go to the store or go pick up your stuff. They have all kinds of grocery pickers. That all has basically ballooned since the COVID pandemic. It's just been, you can get anywhere now, right? For next to nothing or even free, right? If you give them a little more time to pick up, you can get your groceries picked out for you. And all you have to do is pick up, call in a number, and they load in the back of your car. So the bottom line for this first tip is basically prioritize each day what matters most and what matters most in that moment. So really kind of that laser focus of what actually matters in terms of that day and that energy. So prioritize what you can do for energy wise, what you can do as well for how many spoons you have. Excellent. Can you flip on that
Jacqueline,
slide?
just
Yeah.
real quick, I thought that was just an awesome slide. The grocery pickup online, I think, is a great strategy, right? Because it's like you have limited spoons, and it's like, hey, I can do my grocery shopping, get it in my refrigerator, and that may only take less than a spoon, right? So it's like it really saves you energy. I know some other folks as well, Jacqueline, have mentioned like meal plans, right? So you can order from your grocery store, but there's also services where it's like they're going to send you Monday through Friday like a meal, that you put in the microwave or in the oven or things like that. So I just wanted to say a couple of those things there. So here's the next slide.
No, thank you. Excellent. I got screen problems here. Again, I've got so many multiple screens here. 1 second. There we go. So yes, so the second tip I have is don't bite off more than you can chew. So living with a chronic disease means that we have to adjust our mindset. We really do. Social media often causes us to think that we have to be the perfect grandparent, perfect parent, and that kind of skews our mindset of how we should look at things. we tend to say yes too many times, and we tend to think we have to do more. And living with a chronic disease, we've talked often from the beginning there, we have limited spoons, we have limited energy, we've got to deal with fatigue and whatnot. So for example, if you're, let's say, a parent or a grandparent, if you look from the social media view, what gets posted on social media? It's usually the picture perfect pictures of, the birthday parties with the beautiful matching party decorations and cakes and snacks and the best presents and all the highlights, right? Everything you can see on Pinterest kind of thing. But then let's think about this. What matters most? Is it enjoying time with your grandchildren and just being there, or having the picture perfect party? Or another way to look at it is view it through the child's eyes. What will they remember the most? And I can challenge you, like when I talk to, I have, like I mentioned, 3 kids, so the little guy won't remember much right now, he's 9 months. But the other 2, if I ask them about what matters most, it's usually, almost every time, it's about who was there. It's not about, oh, mom, the party decorations, the cake, like, it's not. It's so trying not to like refocus the way you attack things is really important, especially living with a chronic disease. So some tips for that is conserve your energy. Less is more. So it's about the simple things in life. So really staying focused and saying, what really matters most. And at best, the very bottom line there too, is try not to compare yourself to peers. It's about what works for you. You don't even need to post on social media if you're not in social media. It's about enjoying it. And remember that the small little moments can bring you happiness. And I always find this one really personally applicable because I tend to say the opposite often, but I'm learning, and that is this. It's 100% acceptable to say no to ensure that you don't overcommit. So no, bite off more than you can chew. Know where you're at. So if you know how many spoons you have in the day, if you know you have to do a workout in a day, don't try to take on too much. You can kind of say no, that is not going to work. So the third tip I have here is get the memo. So establish routines. For example, when is the house going to get cleaned? Who is going to make supper? What's going to happen for supper? When are you going to do a workout? So the benefits of really getting into a routine is it'll help you manage your workload. And writing it down means that you only have to think about it once. For those who suffer with brain fog, lists are, that could be a problem, right? You're kind of like, oh no, what was I going to do? And sometimes all the different things coming at us can be very overwhelming. And staying organized will help you control the controllable. Now that's a Jeffism for those of you who've watched many of his videos. Control the controllable. So get the memo, stay organized. So how do you apply that? And some tips I've written there is establish routines. So when is that house getting cleaned? And who is making supper? And when are you doing the workouts? So writing those all down. So staying organized, I always say, is get a big family calendar. For those of you who electronically, get an electronic calendar and write down all those appointments and events that are needed on there for social events, etc. That will help you manage your schedule. So for example, myself personally, I know that when I go out and do groceries or I go do errands, I typically try to make it like 2 or 3 different, stops at a time. Why? Because if I hit 4 or 5 or 6 stops, I'm going to be plumb out of spoons. And when I get home, I still have a van to unload. And of course, there's other things you have to do. So by planning your workouts, planning your schedule, you really can kind of make sure you use the energy you've been given, the spoons that you have, to match, and so you can get your things done around the house, and you still really get things done. You feel accomplished. So another thing is to make sure you encourage you to write down grocery lists and to-do lists. Just that idea, writing it down will simply save you from having to rethink and think it over again. On the bottom there, I don't know if anyone uses this one. It's an app. It's a free app, and it's called Simple Note app. And if you don't want to write down, your handwriting isn't as clear as you'd like to be, or you want to share it with somebody else, and there's lots of other apps that you can use for, let's say, grocery lists. But the Simple Note app, you can use your phone if you have one, and you can record via audio record it. and then it just turns into writing. And then you can even like screenshot it, print it out if you want to do a paper list in the store. It just helps you really write down some of your thoughts that come down and then stay organized. Excellent. So the last tip I have is be adaptable. So sometimes our plans literally go off the rails. I'll be honest, that was mine today, this morning, but that's okay. So sometimes we wake up in the morning and we didn't sleep well the night before. And so we're low on energy or the weather is too hot and all of our plans go off the rails. We thought we were going to do A, B, and C, and it just didn't happen. In these instances, regroup, decide what's important for you in that moment, and let's reschedule and roll with it. It really helps control the controllable. So you really have to adapt. Can you slide over, Felipe? Thank you. So for the tips for that one, I want to share with you this is reschedule, roll with it, and learn what I always say, plan in pencil. By that, you can't erase pen, but if you plan in pencil, you can erase it and say, you know what, I'm going to move that a day or two. It is disappointing sometimes when our plans change, but by adapting and adjusting your sails to the wind, it is so empowering. You really feel more in control. So I'm going to throw an example here because I'm here live and I'm sharing with you. This is my morning. I was planning to go grocery shopping, and then I was planning to do something else, and I was planning to get a workout in, and then I was planning to come here. Well, that first two things did not happen. I mean, I did get a few extra things in there because I had a less amount of time, but just adapting and going on. It's like I still feel quite accomplished because I know there's a bunch of other things I got done around the house. But so you really have to be adaptable. And so I encourage you to do that, is to, you know what, it's okay to adapt. And that's sort of the biggest challenges living with a chronic disease as well. Excellent.
Perfect. I think the last slide, Jacqueline, was the audience questions. Did you just kind of want to open it up for discussions and thoughts and feedback?
Yeah, if we want to do that right now, we can. If anyone has any thoughts or questions or comments, I haven't jumped in.
Yeah, Karen has a good tip here. And Karen,
very good.
Unmute your mic if you would like to talk about this tip and what it means to you. But she said, I've entered my quote, I'm not wasting my time on this era. So talk to us about your new era, Karen.
Okay. Well, I saw this quote the other day. I didn't come up with this, and I'm like, oh, that is so me. And it's like, it took me to get old. So I hope you all learn this at a much younger age, that it's nice, you know, saying no, it can be nice. And just sometimes you get on the internet and you start reading something and I go, oh my God, why am I wasting my time on this? So be a little choosier or fussier about, you know, how you spend your time. It spoke to me.
And I love that. I'm not wasting my time on this, right? And it's just like, and you don't, I'm sure I don't have to think too much about it, right? Karen's like, do I want to do this? No. So I'm not going to do it, right?
Right.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Wonderful. Anybody else have any thoughts? Yeah, Dana, what's going on? I think your microphone is muted, Dana. So if you want to unmute it so we can hear your lovely words. And I know sometimes it can be tricky to find that mute button. So if you want to, I'll look at your screen when I see you unmuted. I'll give you that chance, okay, to talk, Dana. Day, what are your thoughts? Oh, Day just muted herself. Oh, you know
no one wants to talk, Felipe. No one wants to talk.
Yeah.
I have a little online business, as you know, and I think my sponsor, Chip, he said something about, he said to get me a post to post on Facebook. It's like, I don't think I'm going to be doing Facebook. I mean, I prefer calling leads. It's a little bit easier to work with the phone sometimes than it is to work with Facebook. Facebook is just enough to drag me down. And I'm going to have to explain that to him. Say, Chip, I can't do the Facebook thing. I just...
You know, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't mind Facebook, but I don't like Instagram. For some reason, Instagram just rubs me the wrong way, and I feel very down because of because of the peers and socially. So, you know, what maybe you're anti-social media. That's fine. Maybe the face-to-face is much better. So there's a really good tip in there. I saw from Anne Marie. No is the complete sentence. I need that one on my wall, Anne Marie. No, it's a complete sentence. I love it. I love it. I need that one.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
Mary, what are your thoughts?
Well, I find it very hard to deal with the unpredictability of this disease. Like the weather change in Canada,
Yep.
super humid, super cold, super humid again. Has left me where I can hardly walk. It's affected everything. And I just go, I'm so frustrated. Like I'm so scared to make plans. Like I have friends who are like, let's go to the Shaw Festival. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you just don't know what's going to hit you every day.
But do you check out, sorry if I interrupt, I'm in Canada too.
Okay.
But you check, I am a weather watcher in terms of my weather network. I'm on it every day. I'm like, when's the hot days this week, especially living in summer? I'm
Yep.
like, when's the days that, or when's it gonna break? And then I make my plans in there. Like, because
Yeah.
there's, we're on, I think you're in Ontario as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's hot,
Kingston.
right? There's days where it's 35 to 40 degrees
Oh,
Celsius, like, and then
killing me.
humidity. It kills both, it kills all of us, right?
No,
And
it's discouraging.
yeah, it is discouraging, but I think sometimes then that's why maybe if you plan, right? If you look, you kind of compare your social to the weather and you're like, you know what? This is actually a good time. So if someone says, I want to go to the Shaw Festival, you're like, you know what? You want to go on Wednesday, but that's a hot, stinking hot day. Can we
Yeah.
bump it a day? Can we go back a day? And I'm a weather watcher that way. My
Good
husband,
idea.
my husband looks at me and goes, so just look outside. I'm like, no, even half a degree outside change in my body temperature can
Yeah.
wipe me out.
I know.
Yeah. So I encourage you to try that. Try looking at that schedule and see if that helps. Like even your mental, right? Because you're like, you know what? That's a crummy day. I'm planning to stay home in the air conditioning,
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's a good share.
And,
Thank you.
and I'm sure others will thank you too. Like, Mary, I'm so glad we showed up today and not yesterday when it was 100 degrees, right? It's beneficial to everyone. I see that we have Dana. You unmuted your mic, Dana. What's going on?
Yes, I did. You know, you go back and forth between iPhones and iPads and you know, whatever. Anyway, basically, I was just gonna say, give yourself grace. Just remember through this whole thing to give yourself grace. When you don't feel good, just don't do it and say it's okay. When you say no, just say no. I'm not going, period. And you don't have to explain away everything. I have MS, I'm doing this, I'm just no. I'm at the point where I'm not going to explain to everybody my whole story. I don't have to do that anymore. I've been doing this for way, way, way too long. That's all I have to say.
I agree.
No, that's true. That is very true. Thanks, Dana. Give yourself grace. That is another really good tip, especially like, just think about what you're dealing with. Like I should actually find this with another presentation of description of what it is like living with, let's say, for example, MS. Some of the descriptions I remember reading when I was first diagnosed, and it was like, it's like walking up a really steep hill with, 50 pounds of weight on your back. You don't have it on your back in a hot, hot day. That's what it feels like. But of course, and every single day, and the hill never ends, right? Like it's just very heavy feeling at times, right? And so trying to help people understand it, they're not going to get it unless they live in it. There's that instant, I'm sure you feel that as well, when you connect with somebody with a chronic, even with another chronic disease, there's that instant connection. So yeah, giving yourself grace is an amazing tip.
Well, and Dana, I have to comment on it too, because you've been a member with us for some time. And I love the suggestion that you gave, where like some weeks you're just going to be, it's just, the symptoms can be exacerbated, whatever it is. And it's okay to say, I can't do my exercise this week, right? Like that is okay. And the reason I point that out about you, Dana, is because you've been a member for a while and you've gained results and you've taken times where it's like, I can't exercise. But if you look at the totality, right, you are gaining strength with the program, even taking some time off when you need. So I just wanted to,
because you come back, you have to make sure you come back to it. You can't say, I'm taking forever off, but okay, I don't feel well this week, or I don't feel well for 2 weeks, or I'm going on vacation, but you come back to it. That's the key.
Absolutely, Dana. Christine, what are your thoughts? I saw you unmuted your mic. What's going on?
Yeah. So what I wrote down, MS has taught me patience. It's taught me to slow down, and to take a break. If you can't do it, take a break. And then like doing chores, for instance. I'll vacuum one room, take a break, do something at the table, and then vacuum another room or whatever. And today I went to 2 stops today. I went to Target and Aldi's, and I did my online, I just picked them up, and it was wonderful. I drove myself. It was, I don't know, I was independent today.
You've
So it was
already
awesome.
accomplished a lot already in a day. I mean, you're vacuumed that, you got your groceries. What else is there left to do, right? A workout.
I'm going to do some yoga later, and then I'll
Yoga, there you go. You probably did a workout yesterday. I'm still catching up. I got to get my workout in, my first in this week. So good work. Nice share. Thank you, Christine.
Yep.
All right. Claudio, did you have any comments? I saw that your microphone is muted.
I
Or
disagree.
unmuted, sorry.
I agree
You
with
agree?
everybody.
Yeah.
Just to take
And this applies for you, right, Claudio? Because although you're not dealing with multiple sclerosis, right, these tips are still very relevant and are able to help you, correct?
Yes, I have Parkinson's, and its symptoms are pretty much similar to those.
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis.
Good. Well, I thought this was an awesome inaugural, navigating life with MS presentation with Jacqueline. Jacqueline, I'm gonna give you a little round of applause over here. That was really inspiring. I think really, really great.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So, yeah, I'm gonna pass it off to you, Jacqueline. You can say goodbye to the community, and then you can throw it to Alcir, and then I will give us some motivational words for the week. If you want to play your game of Wordle, just hang out, okay, after the meeting ends, and we'll do that. Benny's first day of daycare was today, so I also have some cute pictures that I can show you guys after the meeting is over. If you want to see Karen, I'm trying to throw the carrot in front of you so you can hang out with us a little bit afterwards. All right, so Jacqueline, the floor is yours.
Excellent. Thank you, Felipe. So yes, everyone, let's dig deep. Let's get our workouts or MS, whatever we're doing this week, whether it's movement drills, let's get it done this week. And remember, don't sweat that small stuff. Be adaptable, adjust your schedule, get that memo, and let's do this. We can do this whether we're dealing with MS, Parkinson's, or any other thing, or just life. Let's focus and know that, giving yourself grace matters. So I thank you all for showing up today, for your comments, your participation. And if you have any questions or even suggestions for topics for future topics in this series of Navigating with MS, I know we have a bunch of other different topics already kind of thought about and queued up a little bit. But if you have suggestions that you know what, we really interested to talk about, definitely send them our way. Email us at team@msworkouts.com. And let's do this, guys. Remember, stay focused, stay strong. We got this.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jacqueline. It was really, really good. And the nice thing is, like you mentioned, this is not just about, if you have any health challenges in your life. I think this, applies to all of us. So let's 20 minutes with Jennifer on Thursday. Let's be there. I will be there. It's a great workout. So if you have not done, please, come. It's really lots of fun, and we're able to put a little music as well, right, Felipe? So it's really nice.
Yeah, we put music. Yes, exactly, to motivate y'all. Because we kind of joke about it, but it's like, the full body fundamentals isn't fun. And I mean, it's not designed to be. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth to have fun. I hope not. That'd be really, really weird, But like, you don't strength train. You don't do the full body fundamentals to have fun. You might be having fun, but a lot of us aren't, and that's okay, right? We're doing them because we need to. It's like brushing our teeth. The aerobics class with Jen, that's the element of fun, right? Where you go there, you show up, you connect, you smile, you laugh, you have fun, you move, okay? So just kind of separating those two. Alcir, did you have anything else that you wanted to say to the community before I give them the motivational words?
No, let's go for no. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, we appreciate you, Alcir, for your outreach, activities that you're doing, bringing other folks into the live Q&As to present, and as well as Jacqueline. Like I said, very, at the top, it's great to see you again. I thought that was an awesome presentation. So y'all, I want to end this video, this Q&A, with some motivational words. If you have seen the kickoff message with Mason this week, then you might have already seen this interview, but I would like to revisit it, okay? And it is of you, Philip Russell. Philip has been in the community for, gosh, Philip, I think you joined in 2020, a little bit after COVID. And I think one thing, Philip, he has an MS Pep Talks episode with Jacqueline. We pulled it from this, but it's awesome. His life is just it's like a book. Okay, he did dog sledding. He's worked in oil rigs, lumbering. He lives currently in Alaska, and he's gotten awesome results from MS workouts. So here's a little motivational words from Philip.
So is there anything else you would like to add to share with any of the members here at MS
What
Workouts?
I would like to share is just the idea, it's a positive experience. You know, MS kind of drags you down,
Mhm.
but this is one way to fight back against this disease. It's something you can do for yourself that enables you to just keep going.
All right, steady pace.
All right there, Mason. Well, Philip, do you still feel the same way? It's a positive experience? Yeah, Philip's giving us a
I
thumbs
like the way that Philip exercised with Jennifer. I like his kicking butt.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Philip's
Yes.
getting after it. All right, y'all. Well, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to us. Y'all know how to do so, okay? team@msworkouts.com. And we'll see y'all next week, guys. Thank y'all.
Our YouTube channel is a great place to start gaining strength, but if you want to get serious about reducing your symptoms and getting results, then you need to be on a weekly structured strength training program with other individuals just like you. And that's exactly what we offer at MS Workouts through our membership. Click the link in the video or below the video to learn how our membership can help you achieve your goals. And while you're on the website, make sure you sign up for the no-cost 7-day strength camp so you can experience how we can help you do the things that you love to do with more confidence. See you all next week.